Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day today. We go to Phoenix Raceway for both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. Last time we came to this track in the Cup Series, we actually won, so definitely have high hopes coming in to this race. But obviously, first up we have the Xfinity Series, where this time out we had subscriber JT Brink Jr. in the car for us, and actually had to put in a full-on setup into the Xfinity car this time just to be competitive here in Phoenix Raceway as we were getting ready to go green here. Now, as he would take the green flag up on the inside lane, a decent qualifying effort from Brink Jr. as he went down towards turns 1, getting very aggressive early on, cutting down onto the apron there. As he came through turns 1 and 2 there. You see the 98 of Chase Briscoe up in front of him, as well as Briscoe's teammate of Cole Custer in the 00 there for Stuart Haas Racing. As JT went down into turns 3, he was battling with drivers like the 7 of Justin Allgaier and whatnot. Now as he came through to turns 4, definitely the short run speed in this car seemed to be pretty good. He had gotten in the battle with the 20 of Christopher Bell and whatnot, but Bell would actually get past him as this race went on. Gregson was getting up in the mix as Brink Jr. actually made a pass on Michael Annett there in the 1 car, but as he came through now out of turn 4 a little bit later on, Noah Gregson was able to get to the inside of him and make the pass as he went down towards turns 1. So now Brink Jr. was starting to fall down the order. There was a bunch of contact actually with the 1 car of Michael Annett. Annett got very sideways, saved the car. The green flag would stay out there as he went down the front straightaway. Now he would continue battling with drivers like the 23 of John Hunter Nemechek. There was contact between them going into turn 3, which pushes Brink up the track as he came out of turns 4. Now as he came through to the final lap of this race here at Phoenix Raceway in the Xfinity Series, he was now under pressure from Jeremy Clements as he went down into turns 1 here on this white flag. Now as there's a little bit of contact between them two, from Clements' right front fender there onto our left rear as he went down this back straightaway for the final time. Looks like we're going to lose another position as they go down into turns 3. Michael Annett there as well, trying to put some pressure on as they could not quite get to the inside of Clements, and JT Brink Jr. is going to come through to the line and hang on to P14 here in Phoenix Raceway. So a decent effort from us, one of the better ones we've had at this racetrack here in the Xfinity Series. Like I said, I had to put on a full custom setup just to even have a chance here in the Xfinity Series. But now we come to the Cup Series here for our qualifying attempt in Phoenix as we went down into turns 1. Obviously the first time in the 42 car at this racetrack, hoping that we can get a good effort here as we've gotten our only Cup Series pole in our career so far came at this very track, as well as we did win at this track last time out and put us in the final 4. So hopefully we can have another great race here in Phoenix. But sure enough, as we exit turns 4, it's going to be a pretty decent lap. We cross the line with a 25.974 and we go P9 here in Phoenix. So 2 top 10 qualifying efforts in a row, so very happy with that, but hopefully we can have a better race than what we had in Las Vegas. And on pole is going to be the 9 of Chase Elliott for Hendrick Motorsports as we get ready to go green here in Phoenix with Landon Castle up in P3, a little bit of a surprise.
Hello and welcome to ISM Raceway for the Ticket Guardian 500, formerly known as Phoenix International Raceway just a few years back. This track recently completed a massive renovation that has improved the race experience for the fans and drivers alike. This race is about to begin, so let's head down to the track.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the Ticket Guardian 500 at Phoenix Raceway. Landon Castle looking very fast. He has won a Daytona 500 in our career mode before. Alex Bowman and Jimmy Johnson, the 2 Hendrick Motorsports teammates, starting in the back here after some technical issues and whatnot as we get ready to go green on this outside lane. Moving up now a position due to the drivers being sent to the back now as we get ready to go green from the 8th position here in Phoenix Raceway. Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch start on the front row. Kyle Busch already locked into the playoffs after winning the Daytona 500 earlier this season now, and that also put him tied with Dale Earnhardt on the wins list at 76. So Kyle Busch still looking for win number 77, and could he do it here at Phoenix Raceway now as Elliott is already clear for that lead position as we're side by side with Brad Keselowski as we go down into turn 3. Back out a little bit early. That would allow Matt DiBenedetto for a brief moment to get to my inside now as we exit turns 4. Now with the momentum on the exit of the corner, getting into the back there of the 22 just a little bit now as we head down towards turns 1 after completing this first and opening lap here in Phoenix now, as it's Castle actually battling for P2 right now with Kyle Busch as we exit turns 2 as we go down the straightaway. Keselowski still there at my left rear, but we would clear him for a brief moment as we went down into turns 2, but it was still early on. It decided to give him the space as we went down into the corner. Clint Boyer, our former teammate, got into the mix as well, so we kind of got stuck right in around P9 or so here on these first few laps now as we came through on lap 6. Still, like I said, in this group of cars battling with Clint Boyer, who had now gotten to my outside. Daniel Suarez just in front of me as we came through through turns 3 and now to turns 4. Logano there on the outside of Suarez. Landon Castle was kind of holding everyone up and kind of just condensing this group of cars as we went down into turn 3 now on lap 8. At this point here in the first stage, we're going to go all the way to the apron up the inside of Suarez as we exit turn 4, but we're sideways and we overcorrect into the side of the 41 of Daniel Suarez, our former car that we drove the last 3 seasons, and that's probably the 3rd or 4th time already this season that we have gotten into Daniel Suarez now as we came through turns 1 and 2. The car just got really loose, and all of a sudden after that contact, the car was slipping and sliding all over the place. So we know Suarez probably not going to be very happy with that. Now, as you can see, as this run went on, we were down to P14 after that whole situation at least got resolved. But like I said, the car was slipping and sliding all over the place. As we came through now in lap 13 of 18 in stage, you can see just how loose I was. I was actually able to, at least for a brief moment, stick with the group of cars ahead. But I had to move my lane up a little bit here so the car wouldn't be as bad. But you see out of turns 2 on lap 14 just how sideways I was as Chase Elliott at this point running away with the stage victory. But just one little moment there just completely changed everything in the handling of this car. As you can see that I just continued to battle the handling of the car for the rest of the stage. We come through now to the final lap and we hadn't made any progress. We actually lost ground to the cars up ahead now as we started this final lap here in stage 1. The tire icon is on at this point, but it won't be a problem. We will make it to the finish here in stage 1, but definitely a bit of a change up considering last time we were so good at Phoenix, and I didn't change anything in the setup or anything coming into this track because I do run a full setup at Phoenix Raceway because it is so hard to be competitive at this track. But you see out of turn 4 we're slipping and sliding, but we come through though to get P14 in stage 1. The rough kind of start to the season continues over so far into Phoenix. We've only had one top 10 in the first 3 races at Atlanta, and we almost missed out on a top 10 there. So Daytona we crashed, Atlanta we had issues, Las Vegas we crashed at the end, got outside of the top 10, and here we are in stage 1 in Phoenix having issues again. I made some pretty significant adjustments in the car there, hoping that this will pay off here in stage 2 as we get ready to go green. So definitely the concern levels have risen now as we get ready to start the second stage. Chase Elliott now has a playoff point as we are underway here in stage 2. Chase Elliott still leads the way with Kyle Busch up there in P2. So far it seems like Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch are definitely the ones to watch right now here at Phoenix as we go down into turns 1. There you see up ahead Martin Truex Jr. just behind Daniel Suarez. Truex's winless streak still continues over into Phoenix now as we exit turns 2. Ty Dillon up by inside William Byron just behind us. William Byron currently in the playoffs so far to start this season, so we could maybe see him maybe be a contender at one point. Who knows? He definitely is going to need to step it up, and I hope that at least in NASCAR Heat 5 his AI is a lot stronger because I think his AI runs way too slow in this game compared to how he actually did in the 2019 season. Now as he came through turns 1 and 2, getting into the back there a bit of Matt DiBenedetto as we exit turns 2, but really no harm done thankfully as we go down this back straightaway trying to clear the 24 now of William Byron as we go down into turn 3, and then sure enough on lap 3 we would actually get aggressive here and go 3 wide up the outside of DiBenedetto and William Byron as we exit turns 2 heading down this back straightaway, and then I decided to slice across with all of them and barely make it work. There was not a lot of room to make that move, but I decided, like I said, I was going to be aggressive and make it happen. We also cleared the 13 of Ty Dillon, and then we would run down at Landon Castle now as we came through on lap 7 of 15 in the stage. Still not in the top 10 though. That was the concerning part, that we were in so much of these battles that it just was obviously the time was just going away and I didn't have time to run down in top 10 position. So we come through now on lap 10 to 15 in stage 2 already. As we exit turns 2, the car was starting to slip and slide a little bit again at this point. Jimmy Johnson behind me started in the back. He had moved his way up to P13. You can see once again I was slipping and sliding on the exit of turns 2, and then we came through now on lap 12 of 15 in the stage. Our teammate Kurt Busch goes into the outside wall there after blowing a right front tire, and that's going to bring out a caution and end stage 2 early, as it's not been a good start to the season for the Chip Ganassi Racing team here in Phoenix. It's going to, like I said, continue as I would decide to make more wedge adjustments, as I felt like the car was more manageable now, so I actually put the wedge down by 0.1 as we would actually gain 2 spots though on the pit lane here. My concern levels definitely have gotten quite a bit larger as this race has gone on now, as the third and final stage is underway here at Phoenix Raceway. Daniel Suarez just in front of us, William Byron behind me, Jimmy Johnson at my left rear as we go down into turns 1, just trying to make sure I don't get into the back of the 41, as we've already had a moment with Daniel Suarez in this race now as we exit turns 2 side by side with the 7-time champion of Jimmy Johnson as we go down into turn 3. Obviously, we'd love to see Jimmy make it an 8-time champion for himself, as we do give the 41 of Daniel Suarez just a little bit of a shot to the back bumper now, as he probably won't appreciate that very much either, but he didn't get loose or anything, so I don't see any harm done there. Now as we go down into turns 1, Johnson trying to get the advantage on myself as we come through the center of the corner. We definitely seem to have a good chunk of momentum though when we run that kind of second to third lane through the corners. We used that quite a bit last time we came here, and obviously we won the race there as we get into the back of the 41 of Suarez again here. That's the 3rd time this race we have run into Daniel Suarez, and in the reality, all 3 of them were on me, 100% my fault. So now we had damage on the front of the car, and we had lost some ground again. We were down to P11 at this point, just behind Jimmy Johnson, as Denny Hamlin was now leading the race here in Phoenix. Chase Elliott had lost the lead now as we come through out of turns 4, and now is obviously starting to lose a little bit of ground. After we made that contact with Suarez, it felt like it just made the car a little bit too tight, and then that allowed Keselowski now to get to my inside on lap 47 of 78 as we went down into turns 1. Keselowski would take the position, as I really just did not have a lot to fight anyone at this point in the race now, as I was just struggling so hard and I was so confused at the same time, because I didn't change a single thing from the setup from last time we came to this racetrack. And then we hit the wall actually on the exit of the corner there in turns 2 now, as I'm going to have to move out of the way there, as the car just slipped on me just a little bit, and into the wall we went, and that would allow the 20 of Jones and Kurt Busch, our teammate, to get past, and now we have right side damage on the car, and I was just losing hope at this point, to say the least. Now as the handling was just getting worse and worse and worse as the laps went on. We come to lap 50 now, behind Michael McDowell, starting to slip and slide a little bit more here and there as we came through now on lap 52, still running P16, knowing that this race has just not gone the way we need it to, and I'm already just trying to just focus on hopefully getting a top 20 finish, as Alex Bowman, who started in the back, was now starting to close in on me as well. And then sure enough, on lap 52, I was struggling so much on the exit of the corner, he would just easily get to my inside as we went down into turns 1. Matt DiBenedetto there in the 95 getting back up into the picture as well as we came through turns 1 and 2. DiBenedetto, though, trying to take that spot as we get close to that wall, a little bit sideways on the exit of the corner, as it looks like we're now going to drop down into the 18th position, and sure enough, that is exactly what's going to happen, unfortunately. Now it's just nothing's going our way. We're slipping and sliding again, and we come through now on lap 55. The tire icon had come on, so now we have to start thinking about green flag pit stops. So like I said, kind of getting prepared. Now we come to 22 laps to go, only 6 laps of feel in the car, and then the right rear tire was extremely worn. I decided we're going to come into the pit lane right here now, but as I'm about to do that, the caution comes out with 22 laps to go. Denny Hamlin leading over Ryan Newman. We would pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, 3 seconds of damage that we need to repair, so obviously we're going to do those repairs. And then I decided to obviously think about wedge adjustments, tire pressure adjustments again, as I know that in a shorter run I wanted a little bit more free of a car, so I decided to just put up the right rear tire pressure just a bit. But we lose 2 spots and drop to P20. Can we drive our way up towards the top 10? That's the big question. It doesn't look like it so far, but as the green flag returns, we are underway now with just 18 laps to go in Phoenix Raceway. We're going to get aggressive as quickly as possible. Go to the outside of Paul Menard, make it 3 wide. As we go down into turns 1, Landon Castle's going to make it 3 wide with DiBenedetto and Bowman, and I'm going to come through and make it 4 wide now as we come through out of turns 2, and somehow we make it work. I think we've made it 4 wide more times this season already than I have in my first 3 seasons in the Cup Series now, as we come through out of turn 4, up inside the top 15, not wanting to waste any time because I was anticipating the handling of the car fading away as we got towards probably the last 7, 8, maybe 9 laps. So I decided, like I said, we gotta make up as much ground as possible, and then when the handling kind of gives away, I hope that we can at least have made up enough ground to hang on to at least a decent finishing position. So sure enough, we passed our teammate Kurt Busch for 14th. We would now make it 3 wide with Truex and McDowell, and pass Truex now on lap 63, and as well as briefly get ahead of Michael McDowell. We come through now on lap 65 behind Kyle Busch and Eric Jones. All of a sudden, a top 10 finish is in our sights as we go down into turn 3, running, like I said, this kind of higher lane as Jimmy Johnson. He has worked himself up now almost into a top 5 position. Kevin Harvick, though, at this point, leading over second place, who once again belongs to Chase Elliott, is on lap 69. Nice at this point, and then we came to lap 71, still right behind these guys, but the handling was starting to give away again. Now, as you can see me sliding on the exit of turn 2, Michael McDowell just behind me as we went down into turn turn 3. I said the handling was probably going to fade in around 6, 7, 8 laps to go, and then we lose it completely on the exit of turns 4 and get hit by McDowell. We keep it straight somehow as we go down this front straightaway, now down to P15. Like I said, the handling just gave away completely as we went down into turns 1. Right behind us is Ryan Blaney as we come through the center of the corner, and we'll roll on my outside, and then once again the car starts to slip out of control as we go down looking straight at the barrels. We go into the pit lane and nearly go head on into the water barrels as I just completely lost control. Speeding into the pit lane, we had to give up obviously a penalty, and our whole race gets completely destroyed. Now down to P39. We only went 1 lap down, so there's still a little bit of hope now, as that is going to completely bring back our chances as the 37 of Chris Buescher crashes into the outside wall, and the caution is going to come out here in the final few laps at Phoenix Raceway. What a turn of events we've just had now, as obviously we get the lucky dog position. I pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, pretty straightforward. Definitely, though, an extremely frustrating race so far, and hopefully we can at least rally back, as it's going to be NASCAR overtime, and Kevin Harvick will lead the way. Can he lock himself into the playoffs? Obviously, we're not in the mix here for even a top 10 at this point now, as it's just 2 laps to go. We hopefully can get maybe a top 25 out of this, because we have so much fresher tires. So obviously I'm going to get down through turns 1 into the apron and just gain as much ground as I possibly can, and already up inside the top 30 here, as they're going to go 3 wide in front of us between the 32, 13, and 43 as we go down into turns 3 approaching this final lap. Kevin Harvick leads away over second place of Joey Logano for Penske Racing now, as a white flag is in the air. We're up to P25 now, already kind of like that personal goal I set at the start of overtime as we go down into turns 1 up the inside now of Parker Kligerman. We've gained a whole lot of extra points that we thought we gave away there in the final laps now, as we're 3 wide down the back straightaway for the final time, and now we're clear at least from 3 wide. We're 2 wide with now Bowman as we go down into turn 3, but it's Kevin Harvick who will win here today at Phoenix Raceway up the inside of Blaney as we exit turn 4 to cross the line, and somehow we rally back to a 20th place finish. In reality, that's kind of about where we were running when we had the whole incident, so it kind of worked itself out somehow. I could not believe that we rallied back to P20, but at the same time, I also could not believe that the car drove so bad compared to what we had happen here last time. And then after the race, there you see, we have our first Cup Series rival in a long time. Our last Cup Series rival was my favorite driver of Kyle Larson, and now our new rival is my second favorite driver of Daniel Suarez. So it seems like we have a bit of a history here with having rivals with our favorite drivers. And to add fuel to the fire, the 41 car, obviously, is a car that we just got out of after 3 seasons, and now we have a rivalry with that car. So I think things are really going to get interesting here this season. It's not been the start that we wanted. Obviously, Daytona, we had a crash, finished not very well. Atlanta, we did decent. We struggled a little bit. Then we rallied back to a top 10 finish. Las Vegas, we were solid, and then we obviously faded in the final laps there. And then obviously today, we just didn't have anything. And obviously, going to the next one at Auto Club Speedway, California, so definitely hoping that we can have a strong run there. We were in contention last season to win that race, so hopefully we can do that. Jimmy Johnson, that will be the 1 season mark for him if he of going winless if he does not pick up the win at Auto Club. So I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one at Auto Club Speedway. So thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.